San Francisco, 14 consecutive wins. Well, the Bears ended their 14-game losing streak last night. Maybe the Cowboys and the Niners 14-game winning streak coming up on Sunday night. Listen, the Niners are great at home. They've covered 9 in a row there. We know how awesome the offense has been, but the one way that you can get to this Niners defense this season is running on them. And you have that strong Dallas offensive line and the run game. I think McCarthy's going to lean into that a little bit. We'll get to that later on. But I do like the Cowboys. I'm taking them plus 3.5. And I had to take a look because he's been a little lucky in certain situations. Brock Purdy, only one incomplete pass last week. Brock Purdy is plus 134 to throw an interception.
Paul loves it.
I'm a hater.
I hate all of it.
Oh, he knows
because
it?
I'm the Niners. Kyle Shanahan versus Mike McCarthy. What is the answer for no Trayvon Diggs? Bland? I don't really care. I think that they're going to be able to slow down the Cowboys as well. I like the Niners. So I will be on Niners minus 3.5. And I do think one book is at 4 if you like the Cowboys side, Joe.
Yeah, I thought I did see a touch 4 yesterday, which I find interesting. Bland did have a couple picks last week, including a pick 6. I'm not calling for that, but that's what Diggs did. He created turnovers.
Bland played just fine in the last game. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's the thing about these Cowboys is that it's supposed to be top heavy, but the supplements are playing well now. And it's like, okay, now we need to take the Cowboys seriously. And not only that, the offensive line all practiced together for the first time in a while. That was the biggest problem in the Cardinals game, is that it was this piecemeal thing trying to protect Dak and at least give him some time to pass the football. Now he has all of his reinforcements. That is a big difference in what we've seen before. Not only that, look, I want to put as much respect on Brock Purdy's name as possible, but one of the reasons why he's looked so good is because the pocket has been so clean. Now the degree of difficulty goes way up going up against this Cowboys pass rush with Micah Parsons and Tank Lawrence and company. This is going to be a much harder situation for that 49ers offensive line to keep that pocket clean. And when Brock Purdy does have to improvise a little bit and is under pressure, he is not the same quarterback. With that hook, I have got to go Cowboys plus 3.5. And not only that, as far as props are concerned, I think with that offensive line for Dak, I think that means it's going to be a good CeeDee Lamb kind of performance. I like his over rushing number as well.
Falcons, they're about there. I know some people higher than others with them, but everybody is down on Desmond Ridder. 3 turnovers in the London game. I'm really curious how this team shows up. It feels like a must-win spot for them because they got to get this thing back on track. Because if they don't, the noise is going to be overcoming their facility just with the potential quarterback change. Do you have to do it at this point? So that's going to be fascinating to see how Bijan plays against this Texans defense, which, just a year ago was not all that great, and they're starting to turn things around. Now, the Falcons improved on defense. So what does Stroud do against them? I mean, it's what a lot of people are talking about when it comes to the rookies. This dude still hasn't thrown an interception. However, he has the second highest bad ball rate in the NFL, but no picks after 151 pass attempts. I looked at Stroud to throw an interception. If you want to get dicey, it is plus money now. It's plus 114 for a rookie to throw a pick. Paul, you're in? It looked like
I bet it yesterday at plus. Oh yeah, I bet it yesterday at plus 120. I saw a plus 120 out there, so I am in. We are.
No, I love that bet. I think the men are
it
here.
I hate it. It's terrible and rude. How could you do
rude?
This to
AJ Terrell.
You're missing interception prop.
I am, but I love it. I am rooting for CJ Stroud. Rookies usually don't look like this. The fact he hasn't had an interception, I want him to keep it going. I'm on the other side here.
I got you.
Yeah, I just think the underlying metrics are there, as you mentioned, Joe. I could see an early pick 6. I think this game goes sideways for the Texans, but I've been saying that all week.
Wow.
Yeah.
I disagree with you guys on that one. Unless Heineke plays, then I'll change my tune and join you guys.
Yeah, but you don't know. You got to
Hey,
make a bet before. You got to make a pick before that. He's not going to
Yeah,
start the
I
game.
already said
is
yesterday.
this a
I like
live
the
betting
Texans.
opportunity?
I'm on the Texans
No,
side.
but
Could be.
I'm saying you can't like. Well, if Heineke comes in, see, I told you, if Heineke comes in and the Falcons win, like, yeah, I mean, we got to.
So
make
are
our
you
pick
betting the
now.
Falcons based on the fact you think Heineke's playing?
No, for me,
I'm not.
Okay.
it's a run game. It's a run game thing for me, and I think the
Yes.
underlying metrics on. I think the Texans' run defense is absolutely terrible. All the Falcons are going to do is run the ball if they're smart, and
Yes.
Arthur Smith's history points to that. And I think
Mhm.
Bryce is due to, even if he doesn't throw a pick, he's due to miss some of these throws. The bad ball rate speaks for itself.
They've got to
But here's
run
the
on
problem,
them.
though,
CJ
Paul.
Stroud?
Here's the problem when we talk about this rushing attack for the Falcons.
Sorry.
We only talk about it so much because they do it a lot. But you actually look at these outside zone runs, it's not that efficient. The success rate is only 39%, or only 14th highest in football. And they also haven't accrued the most rushing yards over expected per next gen stats. That belongs to the Miami Dolphins. And so it's not just buying in bulk. You're not going to, Costco, Sam's Club, whatever, and just buying a bunch of stuff. Like, that's not how it really works. It's not that efficient for the Falcons. And so I actually think, I'm backing the Falcons here because I think they're just going to run the ball a lot, but it's not that efficient, which means I think the underplay might be what I like more than anything else, Joe.
But doesn't the inefficiency come in when Algiers out there though? Like Bijan, most weeks, you look at the top of the leaderboard, rushing yards over expectation, he's up there. He's averaging 6.0 yards per carry on the season. And I think we all expect them to continue to go when game script allows more Bijan, more Bijan, more Bijan. That's why I think another thing to take a look at is 75.5 rushing yards. He does not have a rushing touchdown on the year. That's plus 115. We know it's going to happen, but I'm not going to try and guess. Like between the 20s, it's going to be a lot of Bijan. 75.5, that's a good number in a plus matchup. So those are a couple different angles. Actually, it's weird. I like a lot in this game. A lot of different props with the Stroud pick, Bijan numbers, but I like the Falcons most. Interesting how this has moved towards the Titans side for some reason. And I'm trying to figure out exactly why that is. But Richardson, been saying it all week, really impressed me. Is Jonathan Taylor playing? Do we know? Like, it sounds like they're open to it. They're saying he's saying he's 100% healthy. Not that would sway my play. I'm just curious if he's going to be out there. One thing that I'm certainly taking a look at, Richardson, 4 rushing touchdowns in his 3 starts, and this price will not be here Sunday. I guarantee you that. It's plus 140 for an anytime touchdown for Richardson. I think that's the best play. I'm considering Indy plus number for getting the points in contest. Do I love it? I don't know. A divisional matchup with Vrabel scares me off a little bit, but I really like that Richardson touchdown prop.
What are some other props? I know you've thrown out a few already. Anything else that you really like or have your eye on for Sunday?
I like Rashee Rice ladders. So, for the record, the Chiefs are still using their wide receivers as rotation pieces. Even Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Justin Watson haven't routes on over 80% of Mahomes' dropbacks. They're using all of them. But the way Brian Flores plays defense this year is outstanding for how Mahomes is going to attack. Because remember, last year Mahomes was blitzed on only 20% of his dropbacks. Defensive coordinators know you do not blitz him, Joe Burrow typically, and Dak Prescott. Those are the 3 guys that have picked you apart historically. And yet he still led the league, Mahomes, in touchdowns, 17 against the blitz last year, 4 more than any other quarterback. Fast forward to this year, Mahomes is getting blitzed at a league low rate, 15% of his dropbacks. Again, DCs usually know. But now you got a Brian Flores, who has said in the past that it's been based on the talent of the quarterback into how he plays defense. But that hasn't been the case, because whether it's against Justin Herbert or Bryce Young, the Vikings have finished top 2 in blitz rate every single week in the league. And so if we can set it to our calendar and pick what the defense is going to do against Mahomes, he's going to dice the Vikings, who I actually think will punch up. They've showed us so far that they just play to their level of competition. But at the same time, we think Mahomes is going to have a lot of success. And if that's the case, Rice is the one who stands out among all the Chiefs receivers quietly, because it's been blowout game scripts for the Chiefs so far. But we can go back to the blowout against the Bears. And in the first half, Rashee Rice ran literally the same amount of routes as Sky Moore as the team's third receiver. Then you go to last week in a one-score game script, somehow, with Zach Wilson playing the best game of his career, and Rashee Rice runs just 2 fewer routes than Sky Moore. And the fact is, he's earning targets at the 5th highest rate in the league among all receivers, not just Chiefs guys, and he has a higher target share than Sky Moore as the team's third wideout. So if that's the case, and Mahomes is picking apart the Vikings, I think Rice is the one who's quietly going to be successful.